Hello, so this video is going to be about transitions, going from one slide to the next. But before we get into that, I just want to talk to you quickly about presenting your slideshow, what it looks like to the audience. So when you present to your slideshow, you're not going to have this view here with your slides on the side and this editing view. What you will have instead is going to the slideshow tab here. You can present from the current slide or from the beginning. And this is basically what it looks like. So if I click that, you can see it starts my presentation. And either using the mouse or using the arrow keys, you can move through your presentation. Right? You can also move back. As you can see, there are no transition effects at the moment, but we'll take a look at that in a moment. Okay. To get out of the presentation view, you can just hit Escape. Right? That brings you back out. Another thing that you can use that is very handy, instead of using these tabs up here, when you're on a slide, if you want to present from the current slide, there's also the option right down here, right, slideshow, and this will let you present from the current slide. This is good for kind of viewing what things look like, not necessarily your official presentation, but just kind of looking while you're working. Okay, so I'll just hit Escape. Okay, so let's go to transitions then, now that you know how to actually play the slideshow. Okay, so transitions, like I said, go from one slide to the next. Now, there are various ones that you can use, for example, right, all these. You can even scroll down for, there's actually lots. Over the years, PowerPoint has just added more and more. Okay, so we'll just start with the first one, split there. Okay, so you saw that happening. Transitioning into my first slide. So when my first slide appears, right, you'll get that effect. If you want to play it from the presentation, right, you can just click there. That's basically what it looks like. Okay, Escape to come back out. Okay. Let's move to the next slide here, and this time let's go for a push effect. Okay, so going from my first slide to my second slide, it's going to have that push. Okay, if I want to play that from the beginning, right, so I get that one. Click, and I get the push transition. Okay, Escape. Sometimes you want to apply the same transition effect to all your slides. In that case, what you do is choose the one that you want, and you can just apply to all. Right? Apply to all. When you do have a transition, you'll see this little star beside your slides. That means that there is some sort of transition effect. Okay, so playing from the beginning, you can see that now all of my slides have that push transition. Okay. Again, you can change them as you want. If I do like that split one on the first one, I can change that. Okay. There are some options that you can play with. So for example, this push transition, I don't have to have it push from the bottom, right? If I click on the options here, I can have it push in from the left, push in from the right, right? Sometimes that's kind of cool. It gives you kind of like that reading a book effect, right? Flipping a page. Or kind of like this. Right? Okay, so you do have those effect options. Another option for an effect is the duration. So if I play this, you can see that the duration of that is 1 second. Right, set right there. Okay, but if I increase that, let's say 5 seconds, let's make it really slow. Okay, so if I play that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you can see a very slow transition there. So you can play around with these options as well. Okay, so change how fast or how slow the transition takes place. There's also sounds like applause and crashing sounds and all those sorts of things, but sometimes it's just kind of distracting more than anything. So if you want, you can play around with those and see what they look like. Also, other options is advancing your slides on click. Okay, so usually that's by default. So in order to go from one slide to the next, you have to click the mouse or use the arrow keys on your keyboard. Okay, if you don't want that, if you want your slide to advance after a certain amount of seconds, you can also change that too. Okay, so click that on, you say advance the slide after 3 seconds or something like that. So let's just try that. Okay, so 3 seconds. If I play that, let's see if this works. Okay, so I got that coming in. Let's see, 1 second, 2, 3 seconds. And you can see I didn't click anything, but it advanced automatically for me. Okay, so this one doesn't have it. Back to this one. So I did turn that on. So you can use that if you're a person that likes to, talk and have your slides advance automatically. You can use that. I personally don't like it myself, but some people do use it. Now, there's no real rule about how many of these transition effects you should use, if you should use them on every slide, if you should use the same one on all the slides, or if you should use different ones on all the slides. Okay, so you just have to play around with that, see what effect kind of looks good to you.